In the world of Naruto, we see many elements of our own world pop up in the world that Naruto Uzumaki inhibits, especially in the Boruto era, given the increase in technology, going from mere wireless radios in volume 1 of Naruto to full-on jumbotron screens in chapter 700. However, throughout all the battles that Naruto Uzumaki went through throughout the 72 volumes of the Naruto manga, we never actually saw a ninja face off against someone who's wielding a gun. However, just what is the reason behind not seeing advanced weaponry in the 72 volumes of the Naruto manga? Why didn't we see airplanes and ships and that type of stuff in the war arc? And why is it that during the Ao arc of the Boruto manga, we suddenly have machine guns in the Naruto universe? Well, in today's edition of Naruto To Go, we're going to take a look at just that. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, Naruto To Go is a series on the channel where in 3 to 6 minutes, we take a look at a Naruto lore-based topic and break it down all in the amount of time that it should take you guys to eat and enjoy your own bowl of instant ramen. So, starting things right off, just after the Naruto series would see its very first volumes being sold in America and Europe, roughly over 3 years since the very first volume of the Naruto manga was sold in Japan, series creator Masashi Kishimoto would address this very topic. In one of the official Naruto guidebooks, in particular in the Naruto arc book that was released around 2003 or 2004, Kishimoto would answer a variety of different questions about the series, ranging from how Son Goku from Dragon Ball was a part of the inspiration for Naruto's character, as well as Kishimoto's own take for how a mischievous 12-year-old main character should behave in the ninja world, to the process of the characters and what he hoped to accomplish with them. Now, it's towards the end of this very lengthy interview, which spans several pages and is very informative, that Kishimoto reveals why we never saw guns in the Naruto manga and why we would never see guns in the manga going forward as long as he was writing it. And it's here I'm going to begin quoting what Kishimoto said in the interview. At first glance, it seems like anything goes in the world of Naruto, but do you have any hard, non-negotiable rules? To which Kishimoto said, one rule is that there can't be any projectile weapons, such as guns, in the story. No ninja would stand a chance against the power of a gun. Gunpowder alone has appeared in the animation, and I don't mind that. So gunpowder by itself is okay. Also, I don't draw vehicles like airplanes in the story. To some extent, I have to avoid drawing technological weapons that can be used for war. For instance, if missiles could be used, then the story would be over. End quote. Now, later on in there, if you guys will look down towards the bottom, one of the things that Kishimoto makes a note of is stating that boats are one of the few types of vehicles that are okay to appear in the story, and it's because that he feels that boats are a man-powered thing. So what I really love about this right here is the fact that Kishimoto says right away, if someone was able to fire off a missile, that at any time the conflict would have been killed because there's nothing that a ninja could have done. Now, obviously, this is before the Biju bomb was ever introduced into the story. Hell, this is even before the time when Pain destroyed an entire village, or we saw Naruto destroy an entire forest. However, while I get where Kishimoto's coming from about being okay with gunpowder being used in what I'm assuming is going to be an anime filler episode, which for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with my Naruto story, I got into the series via the manga, and I was not an avid viewer of the Naruto anime, so I'm more familiar with the Naruto manga content than the anime. So any type of filler that gets referenced, 9 times out of 10, it goes over my head. Though that information Kishimoto gave should make you raise a bit of an eyebrow, because it lets you know that Kishimoto wanted to keep the story somewhat grounded, which is ironic given how outlandish the story got towards the end, with the whole thing with alien invasions and giant monsters that can fire off bombs powerful enough to destroy entire planets. I just want to push back a little bit on Kishimoto's stance. When Naruto's first being rolled out, the process when it was getting published in Shonen Jump, one of Shonen Jump's biggest titles, Rurouni Kenshin, was in the process of wrapping up when Naruto was first contracted to be put in Weekly Shonen Jump. Rurouni Kenshin handled this very issue of guns, where you had Gatling guns and ships being used in warfare, despite the fact that the main character was a wandering samurai, just like how Naruto's a ninja in that same right. You had a wandering samurai who had battles that dealt with stuff like this. Now, it wasn't all the time, but Kenshin still had moments where he had to fight people who used those types of weaponry. Looking at how Kenshin was able to do during that time period and the earlier parts of Naruto, how it performed in Weekly Shonen Jump, I could have seen Kishimoto pulling something like this off, but I think that when you look at his influence, like how he's talked in the past about talking to relatives who lived through the horrors of war, that's part of the reason why Kishimoto drew a line here, especially those relatives that survived World War II. Now, as far as Boruto, those of you guys who've read the Ao arc of the Boruto manga know that Ao is using a freaking machine gun in his battle with Team Konohamaru, among other things that I won't completely spoil for you guys. So to this, I would say the reason why we're seeing guns now in the series that Kishimoto does service an editor for is actually pretty simple. Back when Naruto ended, Masashi Kishimoto said that he wanted to keep the world that Boruto grew up in a way that matches the current world that we ourselves are going in. And the sad truth is that technology is now being used for warfare. Guns are commonplace in our world, though some countries are better than others when it comes to handling gun problems. So what did you guys think about this though? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. As always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Have an awesome day, guys.